What's up, guys? It's Masked Up Swede. Right now, I'm checking out another UK drill plug video. It's been a little while, I feel like. Um, but this is about the tragic rise and fall of Harlem Spartans. So, yeah, man. Let's see. I feel like I know most of the stuff that's been going on with the Spartans. But, yeah, I guess we'll see, man. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go.
Traveling to Kennington, home to around 15,000 people. Kennington is a district located within the London borough of Lambeth, South London. It has long been known as one of the better and safer areas within South London. In recent years,
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that. Okay.
however, the area has actually become the front of a viral drill movement that saw young rappers from certain estates within Kennington beginning to rap and release tracks that garnered worldwide attention. If you are a UK drill listener, then I'm sure you know exactly who I am referring to. This being the Harlem Spartans, who, in 2016, up until 2019, had hundreds of thousands of people in and outside the UK singing their viral UK drill songs, disrespecting their rivals, and portraying the harsh realities of growing up and living in some of Kennington's most dangerous areas. The Harlem Spartans garnered so much attention, in fact. They had even caught the attention of the Canadian musician Drake, who was eager to hear more. Nowadays, however, the group has faded out of relevance, this subsequently being due to the key members of the Harlem Spartans.
I mean, I guess you could say that the group, like as a group, they've faded out. But I still feel like the members individually are still relevant. At least the ones that are still rapping and the ones that are still here, obviously. RIP to the other ones. But like Lowski and Blanco and these guys are still relevant, I would say, obviously.
Finding themselves on the other side of the law, as well as some members even going on to lose their life as a result of the ongoing gang feuds in South London, with the rappers associated often being remembered as some of, if not the greatest UK drill rappers to have ever come out of the country. But you may be wondering how it was possible for a group of teens to have risen to the top of the UK drill scene, only to fall out of relevance in a matter of years. Before I start this video, however, YouTube says only 5% of you are subscribed, so if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe as it helps out the channel. But without further ado, sit back and enjoy this video. Now, Harlem is a large street gang based around Kennington, SE17 and SE11, more specifically the areas Kennington Park, Penwith Manor, and Kennings Estates. The gang is also known as Harlem O, as well as Harlem Spartans, which they have since popularized. It's believed that the name Harlem refers to money, whilst Spartans refers to violence, these two meanings being the
I've never heard Harlem being a reference to money. Okay.
The name Harlem refers to money, whilst Spartans refers to violence, these two meanings being the subject of
I do have a song called Money and Violence, right? So that makes sense.
multiple Harlem songs, example being Money and Violence
Exactly.
by Biss and Zico. Within this, they rapped, Harlem for money, Spartans we step out and do up your bad
Oh, okay.
man brother. Anyways, the Harlem gang has a rivalry with Zone 2 from Peckham, 150 from Brixton, and most prominently 410 also from Brixton, whilst they are affiliated with Moscow 17, Sirac, and most heavily with nearby Cuckoo from Black Prince, with some Harlem members dual repping Cuckoo. Around 2014, the Harlem Spartans gang would emerge predominantly from the area of Kennington. The gang was quick to start releasing UK drill songs on platforms like Pac-Man TV as well as Press Play Media. In October 2015, two rappers hailing from the Harlem Spartans collective, being YS and Blanco, would release a track titled 3000 Savage. The duo then followed this up in January 2016 with the release titled Shit Den, which has since garnered around 350,000 views. This rapping duo weren't the only rappers for Harlem Spartans, and only a few months following the release of Shit Den, Lowski dropped his breakout track titled Hazards in June 2016. This since garnered
Yeah, we all remember that one.
over 10 million views. Lowski then released a track titled DJ Khaled in August 2016. This track, featuring another Harlem rapper known as Mizormac, DJ Khaled, also garnered around 10 million views. Unfortunately, however, following this release, Lowski would find himself on the other side of the law, allegedly as a result of firearm offenses. This seeing him
Okay, so he switched it. It was a knife possession.
he would find himself on the other side of the law, allegedly as a result of firearm offenses. This seeing him being taken off the roads, eventually being fresh home in 2017, where he continued his music career. In September 2016, Harlem rappers Miz or Mac and TG Million released a track titled Harlem Style, currently sitting on just under 2 million.
I mean, just seeing the views obviously that's because it's been out for so long as well. But seeing like these, I mean, you would say small rappers getting these type of numbers at that time, that's crazy, man.
Views. Following this, at the end of 2006,
But like I said, that's in 8 years. So I don't know how much views it had back then. But
Harlem rappers Biss, Zico, and Mizormac dropped a song titled Harlem's Realist. This track currently sitting on around 2.3 million views. The views gained in 2016 by Harlem Spartans was insane. However, when 2017 would begin, the Harlem Collective released one of their biggest songs to date, this being Kennington Where It Started, which was released on the 15th of January.
oh, damn, that's 25 million views.
January 2017. Kennington Where It Started featured a verse from Biss, Blanco, Active or 80, and finally Miz or Mac. Within this song, Blanco went on to call for the freeing of his friends, as well as fellow Harlem Spartans members. He rapped, "Free D1, real crooks man. That was really Phineas Trap. Free TY, free Low Ski Loose Snow. ST, free Sav, free G Smarko."
And a lot of those guys are probably still in jail or in jail again. Damn.
T-Trap. This song instantly blew up within the UK drill scene, currently sitting on just over 25 million views, with the Canadian superstar Drake even going on to post the lyrics of Biss's verse on his Snapchat, this being when Biss
Okay.
rapped, "Question, if gang pull up, are you gonna back your brethren?" Unfortunately, however, Miz or Mac and Blanco would be seeing the success gained by the track Behind Cell Doors, as only 1 month
Oh, I didn't know Blanco was in jail as well.
later, in February 2017, both rappers went on to be arrested in a pretty serious case. On the 15th of February 2017, just a month after releasing the Kennington Where It Started song, both Miz or Mac as well as Blanco would be traveling around looking for rivals in a car. The car was stopped by armed police, and Blanco was found with a loaded gun, as well as a samurai sword that he had attempted to conceal. In addition, Miz or Mac was found wearing ballistic body armor and a balaclava. A year later, in February 2018, Miz or Mac was sentenced to 6 years, whilst Blanco was sentenced to 3.5 years. It's rumored that the pair attempted to ride out onto rival M Block members from Stockwell, after Stockwell members had allegedly attacked Miz or Mac. Shortly after this, TG Million, who was also a Harlem Spartans rapper, would find himself on the other side of the law. In 2017, TG Million would be in a car when he noticed a rival from the 410 gang, who were also making noise in the UK drill scene, with rappers like AM and Skengdo. Anyways, TG Million began to chase the rival in the car, eventually colliding with the 410 member, before TG then jumped out, stabbing the rival multiple times. Fleeing seconds later, the 410 member was rushed to hospital and nearly died. However, he luckily survived. TG Million was then arrested and charged, eventually being given 12 years for the incident.
Yeah, he's still in jail, right? Yeah, obviously, 2017. He's been in there for 7 years. He shouldn't have that long left then, right?
In June 2017, Lowski was released from prison, getting straight back into the UK drill scene, dropping the track titled Teddy Bruckshot in July 2017, following this up with his hit track Money and Beef in October 2017, this title possibly being a reference to the name Harlem Spartans. Anyways, Money and Beef gained a massive amount of attention, especially from Drake, who actually sung the song at Lowski's 2019 show in London. Lowski was also co-signed by both Stormzy and Drake, which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy still.
Insane for a UK drill rapper. 2017 also saw the rise of Harlem's main rivals 410, who were also doing numbers in the UK drill scene, with AM and Skengdo releasing tracks like Macaroni, Crash and They're Mad About Bars, all gaining
That's 36 M's. That's crazy, man.
millions of views, often sending and replying to disses from the Harlem Spartans.
Yeah, I remember Attempted.
Lowski released the track Intro in January 2018, following this up with his album Call Me Loose in April 2018, which was well received by UK drill fans. Another rapper from the Harlem Spartans gang was also beginning to make noise, this being SA or Lats, who had previewed a track titled Most Wanted Tugs in July 2018, as well as even having a song with Miz or Mac, who was in jail at the time. Sadly, however, what fans weren't expecting was that in the months following the release of Lowski's album Call Me Loose in 2018, the start of the Harlem Spartans' downfall had begun. This downfall beginning following the death of one of Harlem's most loved members, this being SA or Lats. On the 25th of July 2018, Lats from Harlem Spartans and a member of Moscow 17 known as Mimes would ride out onto rival 150 territory. The members would be armed with a gun. Upon reaching the territory belonging to 150, Lats would spot a rival member known as J He would attempt to shoot him. However, the gun jammed. Jay would then run toward Latz and stab him multiple times. Mimes would then drive off with Latz on the back of the moped. Mimes would be trying to take Latz to a nearby hospital. However, Latz would be in and out of consciousness and eventually would pass out on the back of the bike. This is when Mimes would supposedly push Latz off the back of the moped and would shout to nearby civilians, telling them to get him to hospital. Sadly, however, Latz was pronounced dead moments later.
R.I.P. man.
With a murder investigation being launched days later, it was thought that would be arrested for the murder, but would have
I wonder why he's only censored one name though.
the charges dropped on the basis of self-defense. Rest in peace, Latz. The loss of Latz was what many believed to be the beginning of Harlem's downfall. As he was loved by all members, the murder of Latz also caused some in-house rivalry between both Moscow 17 and Harlem Spartans. However, since, it's believed both sides have become affiliated once again, with Incognito even posting after his passing, taking to Snapchat writing that he was invited on the ride-out and should have went with. Sadly, however, just a week later, Incognito himself would also be killed, just adding to the pain felt by both Moscow
R.I.P. man.
17 members, as well as Harlem members. Following the death of Latz, his track Most Wanted Tugs was released, with everyone paying tribute to him, as he really had potential to be one of Harlem's biggest rappers. At some point in 2018, Blanco from the Harlem Spartans was released from prison, going on to release a track titled Return of the Born. Around this time, Drills from Harlem Spartans began to release music, dropping his breakout track Certified, which featured Harlem.
That was a cold song, even though I remember it being very disrespectful as well, but it was cold.
Rappers LM and Splash. This song actually garnered quite a bit of attention, currently sitting on around 6 million views.
That's a lot, man.
This factor only pushed On Drills, who only days later released Youngest and Baddest,
That was cold as well.
featuring LM, both songs gaining millions of views. However, it is believed that Drills would be in jail from 2019 onward, taking another one of Harlem's biggest rappers off the streets. Now, 2019 would roll around and would prove to be one of the least consistent years for the Harlem Spartans, with Low Ski continuing to release every now and then. However, in April 2019, he would find himself on the other side of the law, fighting a pretty serious firearm charge. On the 9th of April 2019, Low Ski would be traveling to Willesden in an Uber, booked under a false name. It's believed he was traveling to Willesden to be questioned over the death of his close friend S.A. or Latz. Whilst in the Uber, the police would stop the car and search Low Ski, who was originally found with nothing, before police found a revolver and a sock.
Wait, did they say he was traveling to
Side of the law, fighting a pretty serious firearm charge. On the 9th of April 2019, Low Ski would be traveling to Willesden in an Uber, booked under a false name. It's believed he was traveling to Willesden to be questioned over the death of his close friend S.
So it's believed he was traveling there to be questioned. So he was going to the police station, I guess, with a gun? How the hell does that make sense, man? I don't know. I don't know.
Say or Latz. Whilst in the Uber, the police would stop the car and search Low Ski, who was originally found with nothing, before police found a revolver and a sock by the front passenger seat. Low Ski was arrested on the scene and was charged with possession of a firearm, intent to endanger life, and possession of ammunition. Now, his first trial resulted in a retrial, as his prosecutor had fallen ill, whilst the second trial resulted in a hung jury. His third trial, however, resulted
What the hell does that mean? A hung jury?
in him being sentenced to 7 years on the 5th of January 2023. And I'm sure you probably know, Low Ski was released from prison on the 30th of September 2020.
Yeah, these, I guess these are vlogs. I haven't watched them. But yeah, he's getting crazy views on these vlogs though.
24, where he has since returned to the UK drill scene. Now, whilst fighting this charge, the remaining Harlem Spartans members continued to make music, these including Blanco, On Drills, SD, and most prominently Biss, who released a track titled 3 My Drilla in September 2019. Within this song, he called for the freeing of his friend Scratcha, who was sentenced to 10 years after being caught with a shotgun in November 2018, this once again being a loss for the Harlem Spartans, as Scratcha was also a rapper. Sadly, however, the biggest loss for the Harlem Spartans was only around the corner, as in December 2019, they would lose their biggest and most prominent rapper at the time, as a result of the endless violence in London streets. On the 6th of December 2019, 20-year-old Crosslawn Davis, or Biss, would be filming the music video to his upcoming track titled
That song is cold, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's a banger. R.I.P. Biss.
Retta, outside of London. When traveling back to London, Biss was phoned by members of another South London gang known as CP, or Catch Pagans, as well as Crofton Park. Whilst on the phone, the CP members began to disrespect Lats, who had died around a year earlier. Biss was unhappy about this, and traveled to Deptford where he and the CP members began to fight. Sadly, during this fight, Biss sustained at least 9 wounds.
That's what Lowski was talking about that on his song, right? How he said like he would still be alive if he was pussy. Like if he didn't back his friend, I guess you would say. So yeah, man, that's crazy still.
Where he and the CP members began to fight. Sadly, during this fight, Biss sustained at least 9 wounds to the head, back and chest, sadly dying on the scene. 2 defendants were arrested days later and have since been found guilty of his murder. Rest in peace, Biss. The death of Biss meant that most of Harlem
R.I.P. again, man.
Spartans were off the road and weren't making music, as Biss was really the last rapper putting on for the Harlem Spartans collective. As around this time, many of the members were either jailed for drug offenses or violence. An example being Wiz from Harlem, who in 2020 was arrested and sentenced to 4 years, after allegedly being the driver in a case of attempted murder, targeting a rival 150 member. In June 2020, Miz or Mac was released from prison, following his 2017 arrest with Blanco. Upon being released, he hit the studio and dropped his track titled Return of the Mac, where he showed love to his fallen friends. Rapping, life's really been about threes and RIPs. It's turning me mad. When I think about Biss, I scream. I try go sleep, then I see Lats. This release was
I remember those lyrics, man. That's dark.
It's turning me mad. When I think about Biss, I scream. I try go sleep, then I see Lats. This release was massive for Miz or Mac, currently sitting on just under 8 million views. However,
Wow.
Miz or Mac wouldn't stay out of the eyes of the law for long. And in November 2020, he was arrested and charged for aiming a gun at a police officer, getting sentenced to 9 years. As of most recently, in December 2021, a Harlem member...
See, this is what I don't get, though. So he got 9 for aiming at the police. But didn't CB get 23 or something for aiming at the police? So maybe they did have more things in the car and stuff like that. So maybe it's more to it. But yeah, it still sounds crazy though.
known as Wars, would be killed in a car accident. He is often mourned and remembered by members of the Harlem
R.I.P.
Spartans, and is thought to have been one of Lowski's closest friends. Rest in peace, Wars. Now, Lowski was actually released from prison in September 2024, where he has since gone on to release a video titled 48 Hours with Lowski. Following his release, as well as a track titled Ashes, I do hope that Lowski stays out.
Yeah, 880k, that's good still. 3 weeks. Yeah, I think that's big still.
Of trouble and can help his friends gain the recognition.
I don't really know anymore what's good numbers and what's not, but yeah, I don't know, man.
They deserve in the UK drill scene. As if the tragic story of Harlem Spartans has taught you anything, it should be that this road life isn't worth it. Even if you think it is not, as it only ever leads to jail and death. The only person involved in this story who has seemed to make the best of the road life is Blanco, who has since distanced himself from the gang life and is gaining millions of views on every track he has released. If you
That's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, I hear it though. Millions on every track, I don't know about that, but he's dropping bangers though, and he's obviously doing good. So yeah, man. Obviously not a very positive video, unfortunately, but yeah, man. Stay off the roads, stay off the streets. Try do something you're passionate about instead. That's all I can say, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace.